There's a huge problem in our country. There's a very serious problem with black people who are leading us, specifically black people. It is a huge disgrace. The fact that black people still don't have water in 2020, 2021, 2022. The fact that black people in townships, black people in Amakaya still don't have water is a huge disgrace. And the really, really sad part is that there are no water crisis in South Africa. There is no water shortage in South Africa. There is no water crisis in South Africa. Everything is perfectly fine. The rivers are flowing. There's a lot of rain. Everything is okay. Yet black people don't have water. It's really sad. And all of these guys, man, all of the councillors, our politicians, and our president, him included, all of those guys, man, to me, they are not human. All of those guys, each and every black person who is in power, and yet people in their township don't have water, that person is not even, I remember white people used to call black people baboons during the time of apartheid. I think someone calling you a baboon is a compliment, because even a baboon will not disgrace its children like the way these politicians are. A baboon would not be driving around in a Mercedes-Benz while the old people who voted for them are suffering. Man, when you hear about water problems, when you hear what townships go through with these water problems, it's really painful. It's really something that anyone below a baboon would ever do to its own people. A dog would not do that to its people. An animal, a snake, will not do that to its people or to its other snakes. Each and every time I see old people, our grandmothers, our grandfathers with a wheelbarrow, how do you expect someone who's 70 years old to push a wheelbarrow kilometers for water? It's really sad to hear that black people don't brush their teeth in the evening. Black people don't shower in the evening. Black people don't take a bath in the evening because they're trying to save water for the next day. How much of a disgrace is that? And yet you expect me, when I'm standing next to a white guy who's taking a shower fucking 3 times a day, to feel worthy, when you yourself, you're not helping me. How is it possible that our brothers and sisters are driving around with Mercedes-Benz and then they are sitting in those nice places? That's why I say I don't want to talk some political language. I want to talk to our brothers and sisters, our councillors, our ministers, and our president. I want to talk a language that people can understand, because I'm not stupid, and I'm not expecting everyone else. And black people are not stupid. We are poor, we understand that, but don't mistake us for stupid people. We are not stupid. Let me tell you something. We know that when white people were positioning these towns, they made sure that each and every town is situated next to a river. There is no town that's just put miles away from a river. Never. Every small town, your Standerton, your Frankfurt, your Tweeling, your each and every small town, wherever you go, Marapong, everywhere you go in South Africa, each and every small town is situated next to a river. There's a river 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers away or 3 kilometers away. There's a river that's flowing with fish. How is it that black people next to those rivers don't have water? White people put a town next to a river for a fucking reason, to make sure we can have access to those rivers. And those rivers are never dry. I have never walked past Namahadi and found Namahadi dry. Yet people who are staying next to the Namahadi River, each and every town that's situated next to the Namahadi River, people are crying about water problems. Namahadi has never been dry. Since I was born next to Namahadi. And the Namahadi River has never been dry since I was born. Yet people who are staying next to it, they don't have water. There's a huge problem there. That's why I say we are not stupid. It's easy to just take water there and then clean it and give it to our people. But black people in government, black people in our townships, black people, our councillors, they decide that black people don't deserve water. It's a decision. It's not a crisis. I don't want anyone to say there's a problem with water. No, it's not a crisis. It's a decision. Black people in power, black people in our municipalities, black people, councillors, our black councillors, they decide if black people deserve water or not. Of which, that's what I want to talk about. That it is a disgrace. It is worse than a disgrace, because how can a white person make a windmill and a reservoir to make sure that there's water for his cows, for his sheep, for his fucking animals? How can a white guy make sure that there's water for his animals, yet a black person fails to do the same for his people? How is it possible that a white guy can just set up? I remember each and every time when I drive to Free State, I notice something. If you stand next to a windmill and look at the farm, like all out at the farm, you will see another windmill. If you're driving from this town to the next town, it's impossible. There is no way you can drive from this town to the next town and not see a windmill and then a reservoir and then water for the cows. You can drive from Jersey to Devon. There is no way that you will not find a place where there's cows and then there's a windmill and then there's a reservoir. There's no way. Each and every couple of kilometers you will find that, because the white guy said, my cows need water. And then they made sure they went all out. Sometimes you'd find the windmill is 1 kilometer away, and then the reservoir is 5 kilometers away. That guy made sure that the windmill will take water and then pump it all the way to the reservoir so that the animals can drink. How is it possible that from Johannesburg to Durban, each and every cow on a farm has access to water, yet from Johannesburg to Durban, each and every place where black people stay, there's no water? It's really unfair, and there's no excuse. There is never an excuse for that. Water problems should have been finished a long time ago. It's really sad. Man, I saw this lady who was this grandma who couldn't even breathe. I remember they didn't even interview her. The cameras of this show, it just went there and it showed this grandma. She was staying in I don't understand what is that thing, and she was wearing an ANC shirt. And I watched this video and I saw this woman. It looks like she was dying outside, and there was no hope. When I saw that video of this lady, man, she couldn't breathe. She looked like a person who has an asthma attack. There's no water. This woman is laying there. The only thing that grandmother can ever do is crawl out and then stay on the sun and crawl back inside. And she does not take a bath because no one will bath her because there's no water. It's really sad to see. It's really sad to know that our grandmothers, our grandfathers go weeks without a bath because someone just decides to buy a Mercedes-Benz. It's really sad. It says a lot about us as a people. You know, when white people were denying us all of those services, it's fine. They had a right because white people, they never wanted to look after black people. And initially, God never created white people to look after black people. So you'd have to understand all of that shit of apartheid. Like, you can't expect anything from white people. That's why even when you work for them, you'll get paid 5 times less than your white counterpart while you do the same job. We should never expect anything because white people, God never created white people to look after us. But to see black people doing that to other black people, it's a huge disgrace. And it means that us as a humanity, man, we are failing. I remember when I was at Free State and we are going there to this place to collect water. My mother tells me there's a guy who was talking on Lesedi FM and he said there's a water crisis. And Me and this other boy who was there to collect water, we told my mother, that guy is full of shit. We told my mother that. And she was arguing, said, no, the guy just spoke on Lesedi FM and said there's a water crisis. And we told my mother that there's nothing like that. Namahadi is fucking full. When you pass Villiers going to Durban, Namahadi is full. It wouldn't make sense that people in the Villiers township don't have water when they can see Namahadi is full. Where the fuck are the water crisis there? Where is the crisis there? The crisis is black people in municipalities, black people in government who are animals, who are beyond baboons. That's the crisis. And I'm proud to say that. How is it possible that a white guy can give water to his animals and then a black people can deny his people water? How is it possible that a fucking cow can take a bath, a fucking cow can go there and then have a fucking swim because the reservoir is full and there's water everywhere, yet our grandmothers and grandfathers can go weeks without taking a bath? How is it possible? How do you as a president, knowing that black people can go weeks without a bath? I remember my girlfriend used to stay in Standerton, and she would tell you that the guys who are transporting water, if they don't feel like going to your section, if they don't feel like going to transport water to your street because you complain, you say you want water, they can leave you for weeks. I don't understand. I don't understand how I don't understand. I swear I don't understand how this is still a problem even today, and it's a problem that's growing. I remember we went to Mpumalanga, Limpopo. There's a place called Marapong. We went to visit our friend there for a wedding in 2012 or 13. And when we get there, there was water at each and every tap. And we go back 5 years later. We go there, there's a ceremony. There's no water. Now there's just your green drums. Everyone just has the green drums. How are we going backwards? In Frankfurt, each and every tap used to have water. In Frankfurt, in Free State, each and every tap used to have water. Now only half of the taps have water. How are we going backwards? How is it that there are townships that had streets? Now they don't have streets. Yet the tax we are paying is increasing. How is it that's happening? It simply means that, man, we have animals who are leading us. We have animals leading us. And I don't want to talk about corruption, because corruption is something, there's always a way out. There's always a way out. You have to prove, number one, and no one can ever prove. We had the fucking Zondo Commission. The cost was going to hundreds of billion rands. No one was ever arrested. We had the arms deal probe. No one was ever arrested. Marikana Commission. No one was ever arrested or punished. We had the life Dimeni problem. No one ever got arrested. No one ever got punished. Yet there's so much wrong was done. That's why I say I don't want to talk about the politics. I don't want to talk about the corruption, because if I'm talking about corruption, you have to prove it. I just want to talk about black people, from a black person to a black person. Let's forget about white people. Actually, let's compare each other to white people. When white people, they were in government, they made sure that each and every white person has water to take a bath in the morning and in the evening. What about you? So it's okay for our grandmothers to go for weeks without a bath. And people might think that I'm joking when I'm talking about this. I was watching a show where our grandmothers, they will tell us we only get a chance to have one bucket of water. There are young kids, there are young black kids who have to share water when they shower, when they bath. There are young kids whom the other kid will have to bath with that water and then get out. The other one will have to bath in that water. It's really sad that something like that is happening. Doesn't make sense. It simply means we are led by animals. It simply means that each and everyone who's okay with that in government is an animal, is a snake, is a baboon, is a snake, man, is a scorpion. When a scorpion is a better animal. I don't know what to compare these guys with. These guys are the devil, man. These guys are the dark spirits. Honestly, I remember this one lady told me about an incident where there's a small bucket of water. There's a small bucket of water. The young girl thought that, okay, like she can just take a piss in that bucket of water. And then she took a piss and then went back to sleep. And the mother was in the kitchen fixing something. When the mother came back, she's like, this is my water. I have to bath with it because I have to go to work. And the young girl had already taken a piss in that water. The fact that that's the only water they have for that day from yesterday. The fact that they have saved that water from all day yesterday for the mother to take a bath with it today to go to work. She had to take a bath in that water with urine in there. That's what our black people are going through. Yet someone is buying a Mercedes-Benz. Yet wena ureka AMG, ureka BMW, ureka the Jeep, ureka all of these fancy cars. It simply means that we are corroborating each and everything white people were thinking about us. When they were coming here, taking us as slaves and using us in their farms, it simply means that they saw us as animals. It simply means they saw us as less than animals. And that's what you are thinking about your people. And that's what I think about you in government. That's what I think about you as a president. When Lesedi FM had that questionnaire, that commission, when it called those political parties, there was someone mentioned that our president went to this township that never had water for weeks, for months. An hour after he left, there was water at each and every tap. It simply means that you guys are animals. You denied people water, waiting for this guy so that you can use it as a way to gain votes or whatever. Like denying people water when people voted for you for all of these things in 1994, putting you in power, putting you in this position where you can have all of this money and live this life. Man, there really is no need for you to be able to take shower 7 times a day and swim in your pool while our grandmothers are dying out there. That's why I keep going on about that lady who was dying. She was wearing an ANC shirt and she was living even pigs live in much better places. That lady was dying, guys. Like, that lady was dying, and I don't understand how I don't understand. I don't understand us as black people. I swear I don't understand. I don't understand if we are taught this hatred, if we are taught this how is it possible that you guys in municipalities, how is it possible that you as the councillors are this dark? How is it possible? I don't understand how, like, I don't understand. I swear, I could say, I could say, this lady, Magogoyo, she was dying, man. Even when these guys were, I think these guys from this TV show, when they were going there, they wanted to interview her. And she couldn't talk. She was just laying in the sun. I don't understand. I swear I don't understand. And we can do better, guys. We can do better as black people. Forget the fact that they have to take you to the Zondo Commission to prove that you stole the money or not. Just give people water. Just make sure that the water infrastructure is perfect. Just make sure that the water infrastructure is perfect. Give black people water. Give our grandmothers and grandfathers water. It's sad because our grandmothers and grandfathers, they worked all of their lives never to have money, never to have cent, and then they are dying because of horrible conditions that are produced by you in the government. It's really sad. It simply means that, yes, white people were right, man. Like, it simply means that white people, when they were calling us baboons, that you see us as baboons. Because I would still say it. I want you to tell me, I want you to justify this. How is it possible that a white person went all out to put a windmill here and then a reservoir here to make sure that his cows, they have water constantly, yet black people in our townships can go for weeks without water? Man, you get to Kwakwa, guys, they say no, we go for weeks sometimes without water. You get to somewhere that tell you like that township will have water for this time, and then that township will have water for this time. It's really sad. Like how is it possible that that white guy's cows, they have water 24/7, yet our brothers and sisters have to die of thirst? How is that possible? How do we justify that? How do you stand there as a councillor and be happy in your big house? And I think because the huge problem is because when we have marches and everything, we ban wrong shit. Like, why are you banning a fucking library when the library didn't do anything? Why can't we, like, man, like, it's really sad. It's I like, you know what? This is hopeless. Fuck it.